Edwin Martinez.
Jamie Fernandez.
Juan Bago.
We are your Cine Papis. I know what you want to do. You want to see us live, don't you? You want to see us live. Well, guess what? You have your chance on Monday, November 10th at 7 p.m. You could catch us live at the Second City with the Havana Club, starring Taylor Gonzalez and Julia Hernandez for the New York Comedy Festival.
I know. That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Look, you want to see us? You want to see Glo Taveras? You want to see us do improv? It's going to be a spectacle. Monday, November 10th, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn at the Second City. Catch your Cine Papis live. And let's start the show. Woo.
Cine Papis.
Welcome to another episode of the Cine Papis. Edwin Martinez, Jamie Fernandez, Juan Bago. We are your Cine Papis every single Monday where you want to listen to us, I don't know, talk about the craziest things for some reason and argue with us all over the internet.
Yeah, that's been happening.
Yeah, dude.
It's just movies, y'all.
But I warned you. I told you. I told you this was going to happen. I called it. And it's playing out now.
Because I think people don't know, for some of these clips, we're sharing our unpopular opinions.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a segment.
Yes.
We're not like that the whole show, you know. We're not like hating on the whole show, but sometimes the clips, you know, those juicy clips are the ones where it's like we gotta be Stephen A. Smith in it sometimes, you know. It's like we can't always just be like, yo, this movie is so great for the
Coco.
for la comunidad. This movie
We
is
gave it
great.
love, right? We gave Coco
Oh,
love.
hell yeah, big time. But Jamie came off, if he was Stephen A. Smith, the movie Coco is really not written like by Latinos. That's how you came off, bro.
That's funny because that's what I feel like a lot of people did think he said, but that's not at all what he said.
I know.
And this is where the fun of seeing now that people keep telling us to watch the movie in Spanish, that I'm like, I gotta consider of watching Coco in Spanish. I think that's.
But that's not the movie. I get that, and we all took that, and you know, some of us made comments
the option
back.
was there though, realistically. So I gotta give them their credit.
No,
we could have.
We could have, but the movie that we saw and the movie that Disney pretty much put out worldwide was the English version.
Yes.
The Spanish version is for y'all that really are really looking for that Spanish
Be
version, but that's not the
You're treading a strong line there.
No, but
careful.
everybody's acting like, you know, every movie has a Spanish version, right?
No, but they made a dedicated Spanish
right, but
version.
was that the one that was Friday opening night? Was that the one that you could go see?
I'm sure in Mexico it was.
But in New York City where we saw it.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. This is our experience.
He's like,
but the Cine Papis,
English version's here, okay?
But we respect everyone else's experiences. But the Cine Papis experience is this is what you're getting on the show, and that's what we're sharing. But it's funny because I don't know, I didn't know if you want to share, but me and Mike became comment.
Oh, God.
We we were answering comments a little too much.
I do a lot of the post-production here for the Cine Papis podcast, right? Every single Monday. And follow us on all socials at Cine Papis. Except for TikTok, which is at the Cine Papis. And these guys have me being PR and not Puerto Rican, public relations. Yeah. Because I'll have to make sure every week, because I get the notifications every week.
We didn't know. I don't think I knew that.
We collabed on the post. If you go to our Coco post, which by the way on the Instagram one it's doing pretty good still. These guys just won't stop commenting on whoever is saying what in any sense.
Jamie's better.
A couple of them are like strange comments, and people just really wanting to get something out. And then now, like 85% of them are like, "Why didn't you just watch it in Spanish?"
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't know about you, Mike, but I know my process was like initially it was like, "Oh no, that's not kind of what I meant. I'll comment back." Then the next couple other ones was like, oh, this person's really pushing back. Let me explain myself a little more clear. This is a segment, but by the third week, people still commenting. I'm like, yo, dude, what is your deal?
Like if I open up my phone right now, I'm pretty certain I have a brand new like and or comment for.
I'm like I'm like Donald Trump, all caps. I'm like, yo, dude, why are you twisting my words around, bro?
It's not meant for English. It's not. I tried my best for that one.
know. And the funny thing is, Edin is like warning us. He's like, guys,
please stop commenting on it.
Yeah, cool. We got it. We won't do it. And then 2 days
and
later,
then like not even 2 hours later, I'll see it, and it'll be either on like if it's Mike, it's usually YouTube Shorts. If it's Jamie, it's usually IG, and then it's also Mike on IG.
And then I would find out about Mike. Like Edin would be like, "Yo, Mike, why are you getting into a fight with somebody?" I'm like, "Where? I didn't see that. Where is that?"
It's
so
fun.
funny. We act like we're like 4-year-olds that can get away with our parents, but it's like he's getting every alert, and
I'm seeing every single
like
one of them.
The heat of anger that I have that I want to reply blinds me to the fact that you know that when I'm gonna reply, and you're like, guys, come on.
But Mike replies like a 2008 Xbox 360 party chat.
Hilarious.
Jamie replies like a 2025.
I do try to reply again. I think my initial thing is I want to end it with like a silly sort of, so they know it's not a serious response. I'm like, I'll respond and then I'll write a little joke. But yeah, I think as it went on, I was just like sort of answering comments and I was losing kind of like trying to be clever with it. I was just like, no, dude, you're wrong.
I just don't like when people. I don't like when people are like condescending, like being
it's
sarcastic.
the internet.
I don't like the sarcasm.
Everyone's sarcastic on the internet.
Mike's like, your mama, or something like that.
I think your mama like Coco, and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Mike.
I'm sorry.
Look, you know what's a movie you could watch in either English or Spanish if you put the dub over it?
Yeah.
The Mask of Zorro.
Woo!
Good job.
That's
Good
the
job.
movie that we're doing today,
You're
the
a pro.
1998 Zorro. I say that very specifically because there's a lot of Zorros, but this is our first one. Our first movie with Antonio Banderas.
Oh my God.
We love a good sword fight here at the Cine Papis.
What kind of sword fight?
Actual swords.
Okay, God, I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, we don't know.
I just wanted to be sure. This is
How many Zorros? There are a few, right?
there's a lot of different Zorros.
and-
Yeah, like they're dating like super bad. I don't know if we have that for the facts and fear.
The first Zorro is probably like from I remember it being like black and white. So anything
that's
black
what
and
I'm
white is old, right?
That's the thing. Anything black and white is old. Is a funny.
Wasn't
I think at that point-
Wasn't the movie Roma in black and white?
Yeah, see, that's why when he said that, I was like, everything black and white is old.
Check out our next episode, Roma, on the Cine Papis.
Segue to our next one.
Yeah, you got it back to like the 1920s. There's Zorro's Fighting Legion in 1939. There's the Mark of Zorro in 1940. There's the Sign of Zorro in 1958. There's Zorro. 1975.
There's Zorro versus Predator in
There's Zorro versus Predator, right?
1992.
There's Freddy versus
94.
Zorro, right?
94.
And then you got Zorro the Gay Blade in 1981.
Jesus. The what?
The Gay Blade, which was I had sent that
I think
to
that's
our
the one
group
that
chat.
Jamie.
The swords? That's what you thought I
That's
meant
the
by
sword
swords?
plane that I thought Jamie was talking about.
Right.
Which was funny because when I was looking up just all the Zorros, this one was the only one that was a parody. And it's Zorro, the legendary swordsman, has passed on his weapon and his sense of duty to his noble son Diego, a dashing swashbuckler like his father.
Why are you doing this?
Because I'm getting into it. I'm getting into it. Right? And then he is forced to hand the mask over to his flamboyantly gay twin Ramon, who prefers to be called Bunny Wigglesworth.
Wow.
What year was this?
This is 1981.
Wow. So I'm pretty sure the humor there, some of that hasn't aged well.
Oh, I kind of want to find out now. But we are talking about The Mask of Zorro, which is from 1998. I'd never seen this movie. I had never seen this movie before.
Really?
Yeah. But funny enough, in Halloween, I believe either when The Legend of Zorro came out or before that, I dressed up as a kid as Zorro.
It's a easier costume though in a way,
Kind
right?
of. It's all black. I mean, it's all black. It's the mask and it's the hat and the sword.
Right.
So it's not too crazy.
Even in the movie, when the original Zorro loses his mask, all he does is like rip off his t-shirt and makes another mask.
Oh, yeah. See that?
You can do that at home, kids.
Yes.
Look, let's go into the breakdown real quick because I just want to go into the plot and the characters for The Mask of Zorro. Look, the movie does start in 19th century California under the Spanish rule. We do have Zorro. We have, let's say, Zorro A or OG Zorro in this case, right? And
Hannibal
Zorro.
Hannibal
right.
Zorro.
Yeah. When I was watching this with my pops, that's exactly what he said. Is that he's not the guy who eats people? I'm like, Dad, that's Zorro. His real name, though.
Silence of the Hamon.
I thought he was gonna say Ramones. His real name, this Zorro, OG Zorro, is Don Diego de la Vega, right? Which is played by Anthony Hopkins. He's trying to...
also my favorite Street Fighter character.
What, Vega?
Yeah.
Of course it is. He's trying to fight against the corrupt governor, Don Rafael Montero, who's played by Stuart Wilson, in defending the oppressed peasants. When Montero discovers that Zorro's true identity, he captures de la Vega, kills his wife, Esperanza, and then takes his infant daughter, Elena, back to Spain as his own. Zorro's in prison. And then, it seems a little hopeless for when it comes to the future of California and everyone that Zorro was saved. But we get a cute little black screen, some white text. 20 years later,
I love that.
Right?
20 years later.
We got Montero returning to California with Elena, who is now fully grown and is played by the very beautiful Catherine Zeta-Jones.
So many Latinos so far.
So many Latinos, right?
Far.
Everyone's Latino here so far, right? Meanwhile...
Catherine Zeta-Jones can be any race. I don't care.
She could be, just like German.
Yeah,
De La Vega escapes prison, old but sharp. He crosses paths with Alejandro Murrieta, who is Antonio Banderas, right? Which, by the way, just so you all know, for this entire breakdown, and every time we talk about this, I'm going to probably call him just Antonio Banderas. A reckless bandit seeks revenge for his brother's murder at the hands of Captain Harrison Love. Now, what eventually happens is that both Anthony Hopkins and Antonio Banderas meet each other at a bar, and they...
One thing leads to another.
What leads to another.
They're sword fighting.
They see the potential of it, and he's like, you should come back to my cave. Which is basically... I'm not going to lie. Because Anthony Hopkins, like, throughout the movie, one thing to notice is that he doesn't do, like, a Spanish accent. No. He keeps his English or Welsh accent throughout the whole movie, but he is suave.
You hire Anthony Hopkins. You let him do whatever accent he wants. You let him do it
as Zorro.
Yeah.
So eventually, what happens is a whole montage where Anthony Hopkins is teaching Antonio Banderas how to be the Zorro, not just in in fighting or in movement or agility, but just the aesthetic of Zorro, the pride and the entity of being for the people of California.
Even the grooming.
Right?
The grooming.
Yes, even the grooming. Yes, you're right. That's a big one.
Grooming.
Yes, like trimming the beard, cutting the hair,
manscaping.
You kind of got to manscape a little bit for
Zorro.
It's like swimming. It's like swimming.
He's doing all these acrobatic things.
You can't have something like kind of hindering you. You not agree? Do you not manscape?
I used to.
You're a hairy man.
Huh?
You're a hairy man.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to say, like, you gotta act like if you were Zorro, would you cut everything off?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even the legs.
This is a groom intervention for you right now.
Really?
Yeah, we just want to make sure that you're handling the hair.
I thought you looked like Antonio Banderas before he morphed into me. Before.
When he was just a little...
When his broskies.
He's not even letting you be Zorro. He's letting you just be broke Banderas.
Wow.
Look,
okay.
He goes through the montage. Eventually, when he finally learns discipline class and everything, how to move within the high society, that's when he kind of infiltrates on Montero's circle. Alejandro, who is now the new Zorro, begins to be part of the charming noblemen while secretly sabotaging Montero's schemes. Then, eventually, that is when Antonio Banderas and Elena, who is Catherine Zeta-Jones, meet each other, and they have such a chemistry.
Well, okay, I don't want to go. I want you to continue. She meets him for like a minute.
Yes.
And he looks like he's wearing he's kind of wearing a makeshift version of the Zorro mask. And it looks like he's like maybe stealing a car or something. He doesn't look like he's doing. And she immediately was like, I like the bad boy. She goes and confesses, and she's like, I'm at lustful feelings. I mean, you just met this dude, so she obviously was into like bad boys.
Yes,
because that's what he was putting out. So it was lust at first sight. Carjack.
That's a 1990s aesthetic, right? Women loving the bad boys. Yeah. Is that not it?
Yeah, definitely.
And then I was gonna say also, like, since she's always around like all the noblemen and shit like that, like I'm sure she was like, I need a little
like Captain Love
flavor.
was kind of like he looked like a good boy. He was a bad guy, but he wasn't a bad boy.
He was a twat. That's what I would call him. Like but it's so good though, right? Because I love when characters play their roles so well, and like, because I thought he was a better villain than the OG. Right?
Okay, we agree.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We'll talk about it later. Yeah. But I agree with that big time. Okay.
But he also, funny enough, gave me like Obi-Wan vibes with his face.
Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah, Kenobi.
I just want to make sure we got the right Obi-Wan.
And,
no Obi Thompson.
But going into it, right? They to James' point, they have lust at first sight, and then they do have like this very famously known sword dance battle with each other, where he like kind of even takes her top off and everything. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah,
her hair covered her boobies.
Yeah,
it's very Z2, you know, because
Z2.
Zorro, because he's doing things and he's not really getting consent initially. You know, he's kissing her as they're sword fighting, and she's like, he knows she likes him, but like the kisses seemed very forceful, and it's like, yo, dude,
very aggressive.
Buy her dinner first, bruh.
I just realized what he meant by Z2. It like went all the way over there
and came back.
It did a U-turn.
I thought he was referring to the second movie.
No.
Wow.
No. Moving on.
If you get it, you get it.
Yeah.
Look, Montero eventually reveals his plan to use stolen land deeds and enslaved peasants to claim California's wealth through a secret gold mine by the name of El Dorado. So Alejandro, Antonio Banderas, under the mask works to expose Montero's operations. Then Elena begins to uncover the truth about her past, which is essentially... right? De La Vega is actually her father and not Montero, right?
Some telenovela shit going on here.
OD, right?
Yes.
I love it though. I love it. And it's funny that you mentioned that because I think in my little research of like seeing other versions of Zorro, like they did have like a TV series and a telenovela version too. But one interesting part about that is that how she's starting to realize that is also when she goes to like kind of the common area, and then a past maid or nurturer was there and was like, hey, like I recognize her. She looks just like her mother, gives her a gift. And then she had her daughter there trying to translate like, oh, like she's giving you this gift because she knows you because you're, you know, the daughter of blah, blah, blah. And Catherine Zeta-Jones' character was just like, oh, Elena was like, oh, no, that's not true because she died somewhere else, right?
In Spain, I think.
Yeah.
It's always the nanny with the big mouth.
Like, no, I know. And she's like,
that's not your daddy.
Yeah,
that's not your daddy, yo.
No. And so then eventually that's how when it starts breaking down even more, right? Now, getting to the last part, that's where everything kind of gets crazy. De La Vega faces Montero one last time. He does get shot, so RIP. While Alejandro confronts Captain Love in a brutal sword fight, both villains meet each other, and in poet just crushed by the greed they created and literally crushed by the gold that they wanted. Especially, and I was surprised, right? Because when Elena does free all of the prisoners, right? I'm not gonna lie, it scared the shit out of me because I'm thinking of a very 2020 or esque movie or 2025 movie where I'm like, I'm surprised they're not attacking everybody. It's prisoners. Right.
Yeah,
but in 1998 fashion, Shorty just goes and shoots the lock, which took her a while, by the way. Would shoot every single lock, didn't harm nobody, and then like they didn't trample over her.
Right.
Meanwhile, there's big pieces of TNT and dynamite that's about to blow up El Dorado and everything that's around it.
But if the local club had a gunshot pop off, you know,
yeah, that
and it could be 100
scary.
people. There'd be like 10 people dead by tramplation.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that a word? Tramplation?
Yeah, like trampling. Trampling, right?
Tramputation.
Tramputation. Wow.
Tramputation.
Okay.
Yeah. De La Vega does die peacefully. He does get to meet with Elena, and like they realize with each other that they are family. Elena got to meet her real father for the first time.
Yo, can I just say, like, Anthony Hopkins is the ultimate wingman. Because right when he dies, he's like, Elena, Zorro, what's his name?
Zorro Jr.
Yeah. And like, together.
You guys should sing Shallow together. Y'all not gonna know what I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm sorry.
But you get it. You sing Shallow together is very intimate.
Tell me
he Christianed their hookup. Like, they were gonna at least hook up.
Yeah.
So that was good.
At least.
Right.
Well, funny that you say that, right? So all that happens, they all walk away. That was one of the craziest shots to me that made me remember, 1998. When everything explodes, all the prisoners are free, and then in the midst of the cloud of all the dust is Catherine Zeta-Jones and Antonio Banderas walking through everything in slow motion with all the prisoners on the left and the right.
Right.
Super 1990s, right? Funny that they Anthony Hopkins shipped them together. The next thing you know, we move a little bit forward in time, and they already have a baby. Antonio Banderas is like, oh, eventually you are going to be the new Zorro, kind of esque. And I'm like, damn, that's a lot of pressure on a baby.
Yeah, he's bootsing it to his kid. He's like, listen, when I do this, and then I do that.
Like, do you look at your kids and they're a baby and you're like, you will be the next Juan Pablo? Is that what you
imagine? No, I would not do that.
But that's what he did. He looked at like, oh, you weren't going to be the next Zorro.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, yo, why are you going to do that? It's a lot of pressure. Like, no.
I know it's movie magic, right? Or movie-esque stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, when I have a kid, am I going to talk to my kids like that? And be like, you're going to be something. I don't know. Do you do that? Have you done that to your babies?
I mean, you know, Mateo definitely has some acting in him, so I kind of see it. I let it breathe, but I won't put that pressure on him.
Yeah.
So you're like, one day you too can be the next Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
You know, you can be like you can be a zaddy.
You do,
it's
a
you
zaddy.
can be a zaddy.
God. You know that's a thing, by the way.
Zorro's kind of a zaddy.
I'm gonna hold you.
If we can keep the alliteration.
He kind of daddy, bro.
Look, I had my first original man crush was Oscar Isaac.
Really?
But, yeah, man.
You know, in different episodes, you've had 5 different original man crushes.
You're a little man crush.
Yeah, right. I think.
Oh shit! That's probably why we get I get the comments like that, man.
Shout out to my
shit. I gotta binge their own episodes. Episode 100.
Damn, you put Oscar Isaac first before Antonio Banderas?
No. Originally, but then when I watched Antonio Banderas, this movie again, I was like, oh my god! It kind of reminded me, like young Antonio.
You have prime Banderas, you have prime Catherine Zeta together.
I forgot about Catherine Zeta.
It's together.
Okay, but wait.
I wanted to see them. Wait. I wanted to see them conceive the kid.
Oh my god, no!
Why would you? Wait,
Let me ask you a question. They just jumped to them having a kid. I wanted to see it happen.
What do you think is better?
Yeah.
Catherine Zeta-Jones and Antonio Banderas, or Antonio Banderas and Salma Hayek? Which one do you
I thought you were going to say Antonio Banderas and Pedro Pascal.
That's next.
Damn, gun to head?
Yeah, man.
I guess it depends on my mood, you know?
Are we putting Jamie on the chair of watching these things?
Well, look, okay. We don't have to leave it to the imagination with the Salma Hayek because she had an explicit sex scene with him in Desperado, probably a future Cine Papis episode.
Absolutely.
And that was a really steamy scene. So it's like, I guess maybe because Catherine Zeta's a little bit more mysterious. We don't really know.
Yeah. But Catherine Zeta-Jones, she just had so let me just tell you, when I first watched the movie, so I don't know how familiar, but back in 1998, if you had the pay-per-view channel, like illegally, the shit would loop. So I remember watching that movie like 8, 9, 10. I watched it over and over again. The Zorro.
Mask of Zorro. Okay.
Yeah, but around that time there was like 5 or 6 pay-per-view channels. But if you had illegally, you could watch that movie 20 times. I remember watching it and I had such a crush on Catherine Zeta-Jones. So you're right. To compare, it's hard because there is an actual love scene. But Catherine just had that. She's that freca. She had that. You could tell she liked bad boys, but also her skill set. You could tell she just had that thing where she had that it factor.
She could, with a look, she could just look at you and you're like, damn.
Yeah. I'm mad. And I thought she was Latina for a minute too back in the day.
I gotta ask you gentlemen, as 3 sexually confident males.
Yes.
Latino males.
Confident.
Okay. Right.
Poppies.
3 sexually
debatable. Confident, but
3 sexually comfortable poppies, right?
Comfortable.
Right?
Debatable. Yeah, go.
Let's go. Diego Luna.
Competent, sexually competent.
Competent. Wait, no, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, no, that's different.
Sexually comfortable.
Oh, I got you. Sexually comfortable.
Comfortable with your sexuality.
Got you.
We don't have Blue Chew yet as a sponsor.
Now I know what you're saying.
As 3 Latino men who are comfortable with their sexuality.
Yes.
Right.
I'm going to list these 5, right? Let's say Antonio Banderas, Diego Luna, Pedro Pascal.
Oh, guys. Okay.
Hold on. Oscar Isaac. Give me one more.
Did you say Pedro? You said Pascal?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just Pascal twice.
Al Pacino.
No.
Oh, okay. Luis Guzman.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so.
Sleeper.
Okay, ready. Luis Guzman, Pedro Pascal, Diego Luna. Ah, damn it. Oscar Isaac and Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas.
Wait, hold on. Fuck, marry, kill.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Yes.
Wow.
Or I guess I can only give you 3. Okay, fuck, marry, kill. Antonio Banderas, Pedro Pascal, Oscar Isaac.
Ooh, okay. Fuck, marry, kill.
I would probably kill Pascal.
Okay,
I mean, I like Pascal, but I like Oscar Isaac's talent more, and so I think because of the talent, let's marry Isaac.
Okay, and who do you fuck?
And then Banderas he's Zorro. I'm not gonna turn down a night with Zorro.
He's Zorro.
Yeah, drunk and shit. I ain't gonna turn down a night with Zorro.
He has a mariachi too.
So there you go.
Fuck, marry, kill.
I'm gonna kill Pedro Pascal.
Damn.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna marry Antonio Banderas.
Okay.
And I'm gonna fuck the shit out of.
Can we just take this clip with nothing else? This is the clip.
Oscar Isaac.
Okay.
Man. Yo, for
Oscar
real.
Isaac. Yeah.
Yeah. Yo.
Funny enough, I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, then you gotta give it to us.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna fuck Antonio Banderas.
Okay.
I'm gonna marry.
That's so convincing.
I'm gonna marry. Hold on. It was Diego Luna? No. Sorry.
You're adding in now.
Yeah, I am at it. Wait,
You
was
whore.
it? It was
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac? All right, so I'm gonna marry Oscar Isaac. And I'm gonna also kill Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
know
too
why.
touchy.
I don't. But that's a whole. He has anxiety, right?
all right,
But then it's like
right.
I don't know why. You know what it is?
I just was
don't know.
disappointed by Fantastic Four, I guess.
Oh wow,
Why?
that's enough.
They want our child. I couldn't do it. I hated his voice throughout that movie.
Look, the chemistry between those two was phenomenal, and I just I forgot because I told you I saw the movie like 20,000 times. Had a huge crush on Catherine Zeta-Jones, but then when I watched it again, fresh eyes, like 15 years since I last saw the movie, and I was like, God damn it, man, he was fucking good. He was fucking funny.
No, yeah,
like,
he was good.
If I was a chick, of course I'd hook up with him.
And that's credit to
man.
Banderas because you mentioned Salma Hayek. He has sexual chemistry. No, he has sexual chemistry with both.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do as an actor to like, you might get lost in the sauce when you're like in a scene with those two. And he holds his own as like, you could see them being like, oh, I want some of that Banderas,
Yeah. That's your people's.
I'm so sorry. I just think it's funny that we turned into like we'd all fuck Antonio Banderas. That's like the funniest. Like that's
Well,
the
you
thing.
want to marry him.
He wants to marry him.
I'm not putting a ring on Banderas.
What? All right.
I don't think he's gonna be faithful. He's not gonna be faithful.
I just want to say one thing. I just want to say one thing. As a dad.
Okay.
The opening. Yeah, I know. Right?
As a dad, now we're pulling out the as a dad card.
Yeah.
As a dad.
That opening scene where you see Elena in the crib.
Yes.
What the fuck crib was that shit? That shit was decked
Wow.
out. It was like a fucking castle.
Yeah. No, but they have money.
No, I know that, but that fucking crib. Imagine seeing that in the registry. You could not afford that shit. That shit was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was like, well, that was the thing that stood out as a dad. I'm like, oh shit,
That's a crazy crib.
that's a fucking crazy ass crib.
That's
yo.
definitely a dad. Like you notice that, you know what I mean? Like that's something that I wouldn't even like. But the fact that 5 minutes and 10 minutes into the movie, you're like, that crib. What is that about?
No, that crib was impressive.
Yeah.
It is weird that Montero came back to then do his second dirty deeds after killing, De La Vega's wife and then trying his own evil first attempts. But then to bring back Elena and then, I don't know, I guess he would have never thought 20 years later De La Vega was going to come back.
The Zorros in plural have a type. Because like Anthony Hopkins' wife was brunette, very, attractive, younger. You know what I mean? They have a type. Like,
did he have a stunt double? Like, how did Anthony Hopkins
Great question. Anthony Hopkins was in his 50s during this movie.
Dude, that's very impressive. Like that guy was like, he was really good.
No, a lot of his action scenes were from like
zoomed out,
establishing shots. It was like we're not getting the close-up view of Anthony Hopkins fighting, but
there was a lot of nice practical effects too, by the way, for this movie. Like I didn't get Scorpion King.
No, this is the type of movie they don't make anymore. Like in the 90s, they made it all the time.
Yeah,
The Mummy, this
action or like
action adventure, but with practical stunts. Now they make Zorro. You're gonna get. They're not shooting on location. It's CGI.
That's true.
CGI city.
That's true.
Whatever, blue screen, green screen, whatever. And then you're getting a lot of CGI in the action. The swords are probably fake. You know what I mean? So, or the people fighting is not real. So I really appreciate those 90s action adventure movies because like there's stunts in this movie that are like,
I don't want to put you on the spot.
The horse chase scene alone.
Oh yeah,
there's some stunts in there that are like, oh shit, this is like some Cirque du Soleil shit.
Not to put you on the spot, that training, right? You saw the montage of the training.
I love a good training montage.
Right. That's what I was about to say. Is that one of your top favorite training montages?
Imagine they put Push It to the Limit to that. That'd be crazy. I was thinking that after every montage I see now.
Yo, but even the way Anthony Hopkins, the way he was teaching, he'd be smoking that thing. Like, he was smoking a J? Was that J? Was that weed? Was that weed? He's like reading
There's probably some fine tobacco from that time.
Yeah, he's too classy for like just getting some weed.
Because tobacco back then was like super pure.
Oh yeah,
so, like,
I would have liked an original like do it the Zorro way.
I knew it.
We're going to sword play. Doing it the Zorro
sword play now 20 minutes into this episode is a completely different thing.
We're gonna swashbuckle and then we're gonna fuck
before you get into super singing again, could you do our facts and fiction or facts and furious? I'm all.
This one has some.
Let's do our facts and furious for this week.
Wow. Okay.
But it doesn't rank as like one of my top montages.
It isn't.
I
get it.
In the movie history world of montages, there's like
there's a lot. Of
Okay.
nice
I was just curious.
All the Rockies are about,
Okay.
Karate Kid. Anyway,
Yeah.
this was like Mexican Karate Kid, actually.
Oh, kind of. That's a good point. Yeah.
It's interesting. Steven Spielberg.
He directed a scene?
No, he was going
funny.
to direct this.
Oh, what?
He was an executive producer. He had developed the film originally for TriStar Pictures, and he wanted Tom Cruise to play the lead.
That's pretty funny.
He
Tomas
did.
Cruz?
And Tom Cruise was the one who was like, I don't think I should be playing a non-Latino character.
Respect.
He was like Mexican Impossible. Mexican Impossible. I'm not doing that. And
I don't even laugh anymore.
I know he had that in his
It's in your notes.
Yeah.
Can we take a screenshot? Put it in post.
I rolled my eyes in the back of my head. Like,
No, I don't laugh anymore. I just turn to the side and I let it like just leave my body.
Mexican Impossible.
But I'm surprised Spielberg was a little bit unaware that might not be a good look. Like, I'm kind of disappointed that Tom Cruise was the one who was like, dude, I don't think I should play this.
I'm not surprised, but I want to talk about that during the unpopular opinion.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Stay tuned.
Antonio Banderas, we were talking about stunts. He was a strong advocate for performing his own stunts.
Really?
So he pretty much did a lot of that sword fighting. Unlike Anthony Hopkins, I'm sure. Anthony Hopkins was just, close up on my face. Close up on my face.
That's impressive. That's really impressive. Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Antonio Banderas, in his line of blockbuster movies or successful movies, where is that in his library of movies?
This comes out after Desperado.
So Desperado already came out, and then
which
Desperado was the movie that helped him catapult even more so into the Hollywood.
Well, speaking of Desperado, the director Martin Campbell took over directorial duties from Robert Rodriguez, who directed Desperado with Antonio Banderas. Robert Rodriguez wanted a more grounded, but he wanted a more violent film.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about expected of Robert Rodriguez, but I don't think. Usually, I'm all for like more violence. Let's go. I want to see like chopped off heads and arms and shit. But I don't think Zorro needed that. I think this was the right tone. I think Martin Campbell, the director, who probably his best film was Casino Royale, which is probably the best James Bond film. The rest of his sort of filmography is not, it's a lot of like ups and downs. He also did GoldenEye, which I prefer better as a video game, obviously, as 64. And then the movie itself was like, but I mean, Casino Royale. So, and this is probably his second best film, I would say.
Right.
But yeah, Robert. But they did use many of the sets, locations, and crew that Robert Rodriguez had planned on using.
That's crazy.
Actors who were offered roles or turned down roles for this movie. I don't know specifically what roles, but Sean Connery.
Okay.
Yeah,
he could have been De La Vega.
Raul Julia, I guess, was still alive during this, and maybe he
Wow,
could have been.
that would have been great.
Andy Garcia, maybe as Zorro.
Damn, Raul Julia would have been great for
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Wow.
man, that would have been awesome, man.
Salma Hayek was.
Can we use Sora and reenact that?
Probably, unfortunately.
we could do that.
Yes,
as one of the clips.
So yeah, and
Tom Cruise, hilariously, right?
Yeah.
and Tom Cruise.
You think Tom Cruise turned that down? They just didn't. They just didn't do it, right? That's what it was.
No, he was like, I don't want to play a non-Latino role.
Yeah.
I mean, that probably was
props.
just an excuse because he probably had, another
Mission
movie that he
Impossible.
probably, Mission Impossible. At that point, he probably was doing like Mission Impossible 2 or 3 or something.
And another thing under the sun type shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Anthony Hopkins sustained a back injury at some point, and he had to originally turn down the role.
Oh, wow.
But he was able to have emergency laser surgery on his back.
What?
And then he felt it was possible for him to do the role. So we're talking about him not doing his
playing
own
hard to
stunts.
Dead ass.
Him not doing his own stunts, he barely could probably like walk. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
But you get Tony Hop, you're in good shape.
Tony Hop?
If you get Tony Hop, you're in good shape acting wise. You don't got to worry about the acting, right?
No, he did smoke that though.
And he did a lot of just standing around, like in the
Even some of the fighting
in the
scenes,
montage roles, he's pretty much just standing while Antonio
that's
Banderas
what
is
I'm
like.
saying.
Yeah.
Twing, 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 boom. Great wisdom though at that point, by the way, when he was like, don't seek revenge while you're drunk or whatever. I was like, oh shit, you're right.
And so we were talking about like the where Zorro came from, right? And the Zorro character is inspired by the real life figure Joaquin Murrieta, and I think he named the kid Antonio and character as a kid was Joaquin. So that was kind of a
Joaquin.
wink, wink.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
And
Beautiful little Easter egg.
This character, the real life, it was a legendary bandit and gold prospector in 19th century California. It's not really known if this guy was like a Zorro type figure. There's different theories. There's also a theory that this character was inspired by a Native American real life person, and the person who wrote Zorro kind of got influenced by this Native American story, and kind of amped up the Joaquin character, who was again a real life person, but he might have just been just like a bandit.
Yeah.
Who wasn't really got into some shit, maybe did some good things here and there, but wasn't Zorro, right? So it's not a real life story like Batman or something, right?
Like real life story, like Batman.
Jamie, Batman is not real.
It goes over my fucking head, and then I'm gonna edit this again, and I'm like, "Fuck."
Any more?
Just one more, which is interesting. There is a distinct difference between the costumes for Dandigo de la Vega, Anthony Hopkins, Sir Anthony Hopkins. We haven't been using the
He
Sir.
is Sir Anthony Hopkins.
So
yes.
sorry, Sir Anthony Hopkins. We'll continue as we continue. We'll use the Sir, and then Zorro, Alejandro Murrieta's Zorro, the costume designer Graciela Mazon.
Oh yeah, she's done a great work.
You know her work?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And so she claimed that De La Vega's costume portrayed his Spanish heritage, and Alejandro's portrayed his Mexican heritage. So there's a distinction there.
I like that.
There's a
That's
distinction
smart.
there. Neither guys are the culture that they're playing, but that's Hollywood, y'all.
Yeah. So actually, with that being said, actually, can we do it on our popular opinions?
Let's do it.
Yeah, so
unpopular
Our
opinion.
unpopular opinions. Now, for me this week, it's not really just to get an unpopular opinion out. It's more of discussing that aspect, right? Which is of characters playing roles that are not connected to their nationalities and et cetera, right? So in this case, yes, Sir Anthony Hopkins is not Spanish. Right, and I'm talking about Spanish, not
Spanish.
when the Spanish in the 2000s when people put every Latino into Spanish, right? He's not Spanish. He's mad different things that Jamie had told me earlier, but he's English for one, or
He's
British
English
for one,
and
Welsh and Finnish,
Yeah,
and whatever.
Welsh
I don't know.
and English.
And then Catherine Zeta-Jones is also Welsh, right? But her character is also Spanish, technically, right? And then Antonio Banderas' character, he is Spanish. Like, well, his character is Mexican That Zorro is Mexican, but Antonio Banderas himself is Spanish. In 2020, Antonio Banderas got nominated for a movie, right? I forgot what the name of the movie is at the top of my head, but they came out and kind of were saying like, oh, like, he's one of the more famous people of color, right?
Who said that?
I think it was within either the Oscars or something, or an article came out saying something like that. And that drove a whole craze about, the term people of color, talking about like Latinos and Spanish people, and how there's a lot of Spanish people who hate the idea of being considered a person of color.
And then Javier Bardem also was controversial.
I think that's another man
talking about, these are the only roles that he's not the only roles, he's Javier Bardem, but a lot of the roles he gets offered are of this ilk of like Latino-ish characters. And he's like, Bardem's gotta eat.
Yeah. I don't, but it's funny because I think it makes sense. I mean, someone could tell me I'm wrong. Please let me know. It makes sense of having Sir Anthony Hopkins play a Spanish character if it's kind of European, etc.
Right.
Same thing with Catherine Zeta-Jones. There is a weird gray area, right, when it comes to Antonio Banderas. And that was Hollywood at the time, and honestly, kind of Hollywood now. Like, they are totally still fine of getting a Spanish actor playing like a Latino role.
Yeah.
When that whole thing happened in 2020, they were asking Antonio Banderas, like, does he consider himself to be Latino? And of course, with the Cine Papis, we talk about Latino movies, not just Latino movies, but characters, stories, and et cetera, directors. It doesn't have to be just Latino. And he kind of responded with it being like, when I went to the States, the Latino community embraced me heavily, especially when it comes to the fact that he did Mariachi, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Both Zorros that came out there in
I don't think he was in Mariachi.
No, sorry, you're right. Desperado. He was Mariachi.
And then the kind of quasi-sequel, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Yeah.
He plays Mariachi in Desperado.
Right.
My bad, yeah. So, yes, exactly, right? But in that light, again, still a Mexican character. Technically, in Spy Kids, he plays kind of like a Latino. Also too, right? Is that really a problem? How much of it is a problem?
Right.
Where are the lines blurred? And I want to know what you guys feel about that.
Well, an initial line that's blurred is that we were talking about Robert Rodriguez. He casted Antonio Banderas. He was comfortable having, as a Mexican American, having Antonio Banderas be the lead in his movie that he wrote and directed and funded. And so, who are we to say the guy who created the movie? Now, I feel like if it's sort of like like the studio's pushing, I'm a guy who needs context, right? So if I find out like a studio's pushing to have a white character play this Latin character, then I'm like, yo, what the fuck's going on in Hollywood? Like, what the hell is this? So, but if a context is like, yo, this guy wanted the Latino creators of the film, whatever the project, the TV show, if they are okay with casting who they want to cast, whatever race, religion, creed, whatever, who are we to say like you're wrong? This is their shit. This is their project. This is their, and so again, to me, it's about context. But I can always get both sides of the debate. But that's for me. I don't know about,
Well, just for this, I did not, Catherine Zeta-Jones, I thought she was Latina. I mean, this is a while back. But
she's exempt from any of the rules because she's so beautiful in this movie.
You're letting a white woman.
I know, I'm sorry.
You're letting a white woman be exempt by the
forget what I
Latino.
said.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry, Michelle. Mike, continue.
No, but Antonio, like, he killed the role. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes, you watch a movie, you're like, come on. We've spoken about, especially in this podcast, about like, come on. That didn't feel like authentic. It didn't feel. Antonio killed it. Like, I didn't feel at any moment in time, like, man. So, to me, I think it's case by case. And like you said, Robert Rodriguez felt that was his choice, that in some of the roles he's casted. For me, and when I'm talking about this movie specifically, there was not a moment that I got taken out. Like I got distracted to the fact that this guy's not, playing the role. Like watching it again with Anthony Hopkins, sir. Was a little bit, yeah, because he didn't even do an accent or anything like that. But Antonio was the least one that I
like. I can't see anybody else playing Zorro.
Exactly.
That exists in the Hollywood, at least in '96.
But what about if they were gonna do a movie right now and they greenlit Zorro and it's that kid?
And it would have to be a Mexican.
Well, Banderas could actually play the Anthony Hopkins Zorro,
and then
that would actually be like exactly. That would mix that would be more culturally appropriate.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Now, Adine, I want to get your response to the same.
My
question.
thing is, of course, in more modern day sense, we do like making sure we hire actors who are closely to their nationality, etc.
Right.
Right. Even though lines are still blurred heavily. The biggest thing that this comes from in terms of a controversy is of the fact, like here in the States especially, we do Hispanic. That umbrella of Hispanic, not Latino. When you're signing all these forms and shit, you're not putting down Latino, even though now they're kind of putting it in a sub category. It's the whole Hispanic thing, and it's all the Hispanic. Like grouping everybody because they speak Spanish was a huge thing, especially in the 90s.
Yeah,
he didn't go the route of, and by he I mean Antonio Banderas, and I'm gonna say Anthony Hopkins too, right? Didn't go the route of Antonio Banderas playing that character like Tony Montana.
Yes.
Okay.
That's where I think for me, where I'm like, okay, I am open to the idea.
So are you saying like Al Pacino sort of didn't portray a Cuban immigrant with like enough reverence, enough respect, and
there was an exaggeration.
Banderas had a little bit more sort of like I want to actually do this right.
There was an exaggeration in his tone, his actions.
Because I think one actor was really heavy on cocaine.
Well, exactly.
To his credit.
To his credit, right? But even the times where he wasn't on cocaine, even the accent is a big one, right? I guess that's where
cocaine does that.
Yeah, exactly. Cocaine does that.
Yeah.
It's that. It's stuff like that where I'm like, okay, this is getting a little messed up.
Yeah,
for me, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, again, Hollywood, and then I feel like a lot of people, I haven't really seen like a backlash of like Antonio Banderas. And Antonio Banderas does not claim himself to be Latino, but he embraces that aspect. And that's what he did mention in the interview, saying that the Latino community embraced him heavily. And he pays a lot of respect to it, especially Mexican people who he has portrayed a lot from 1995 and on. Yeah. In different roles. And especially unless it with him being mariachi or him being Zorro, who is a Mexican character. It's just an interesting blurred line. Yeah. That even in 2025, I'm like, dang, like where are we like full stop? Where is it like actually like messed up and everything like that? Because then let's go with like, let's say, you know, Jack Black being in Nacho Libre. I forgot his actual the protagonist's name, but even there, Nacho? I'm like, is it Nacho? It is Nacho. Actually, you're right. You're super right. I think it is Nacho. It's like all that, right? That's where it's like a little kind of twisted for me too.
Yeah, and I again, there's gonna be someone could debate you against that, and you could still be like, I get what you're saying. You know what I mean? I don't think it's ever gonna be. Again, Hollywood is all about making money too, and if you know, why am I gonna choose? I'm gonna give an actor who maybe I think is less talented than Banderas, that role, just so I'm filling the quota of doing that. So I do think you have to take that into account. Like some of these people are being hired because at 96, Banderas was gonna be was gonna sell tickets.
Yeah, it's more of a systemic problem of the fact of like, and where the whole controversy comes from, right? Because again, when they labeled him a person of color, Antonio Banderas, they labeled him a person of color. Again, it's like when you speak Spanish in the States, you're under the umbrella of white Hispanic because you are a Spanish-speaking person. That's where it gets like controversial, and that's where there is a world of confusion about who a person of color is and who is Latino. Yeah, you know, and that's where it's kind of interesting to me.
And the like sort of like just someone in the Midwest or whatever will see Diego Luna and Javier Bardem and be like, oh, they're both Latino.
All the same. Yeah,
they look similar, they talk similar, and it's like, okay, there's layers to all the cultures in the world that people will never, no matter what you say and do and explain, they're never gonna they don't care about peeling the layers. Nope, they're just, and that's the way it is, and that's what Hollywood is just that. If Hollywood is the elevator pitch, it's for everything. This is the elevator pitch, and we're not gonna really go deep into explaining why we did this and why we did that, and and stuff like that.
And the fun of Cine Papis is that you get to understand and embrace the different cultures. That just because they speak Spanish doesn't mean that everyone is just the same person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Do you guys have any unpopular opinions?
I know. My unpopular opinion is that no, this isn't even that.
Camera 2.
I sort of kind of like Count of Monte Cristo a little bit more than this. And I'm only using that as a comparison because they're very similar.
My dad mentioned that movie.
Yeah, they're very similar plots. And actually, Luis Guzman is in Count of Monte Cristo, the one I'm talking about, the last one that popped off. And so with Jim Caviezel, who I don't really like as an actor, he's the guy who played Jesus in Passion of the Christ.
Oh wow,
classic film.
But I thought he was good in Count of Monte Cristo, and I like that movie a little better. It is about, you know, this guy's left for dead and betrayed, and then he reinvents himself. He finds like I'm probably butchering the plot, but he finds like the treasure of some dead rich guy, and then he becomes a whole new person. He changes he learns how to fight. He ends up reinventing himself so he can get revenge on the people that effed him over. I just love, and so it reminded me in this Zorro, there's a part where Sir Anthony Hopkins is like, you need to also charm your way into the higher society to get what you want. I thought that was not done as cool in like it was in Monte Cristo, and it just reminded me of that movie. And I think there's parallels to both of those movies. I don't think Caviezel's not like a Latin character or anything, but so yeah, I don't know if that's like such a big unpopular opinion, but for people who are like hardcore Zorro fans, I like this movie. But I'm a little Monte Cristo, a little bit more of a fan. So, you know, comment away.
This is by far my
Jamie
favorite.
will reply.
Yeah,
yo, how you gonna like Monte Cristo, bro? Watch Monte Cristo. Yo, watch Zorro in Spanish, and you'll appreciate it more.
Jamie's unpopular opinion being that he liked another movie more than Zorro is the most Jamie.
Absolutely.
Well, but it's a movie that is very similar in plot and character, right?
Absolutely.
But does it have Catherine Zeta-Jones?
No. Yes, that you're right. I probably changed my unpopular opinion now.
So my unpopular opinion and the imposter of the week, yes, is Don Montero, because one, you know, he's not Latino. He didn't even try to have an accent. Like he's not Sir Anthony, right? He can't get away with that. I didn't like that. And two, Rafael comes back after 25 years and he's sunning everybody. Yeah, like I don't understand where the loyalty was with his plan, because all these guys were working with him for the whole plan. I felt like, I don't know, man. I feel like one of them could have just shot him and like, yo, dude, we're not following your whole plan. Like it just felt very like not forced, but it just felt like I felt like they could have done a coup and got him out. Because remember, he got kicked out and he's back. But right off the bat, when he's right there and he's talking to them, he's sunning them, and he's like, you know, because they even mentioned it. He's like, yo, you come back. And he's like, I wasn't being that way.
I mean, you could say that about any villain. Like, can the guys that are fearful of this villain just come together and?
But I get what Mike means, because it's like it's the simplicity of his evilness. It's like, now you're back, now you want the money, and you use the prisoners as slaves.
Yeah,
out of nowhere in 20 years later, and then you're like, oh well, you know who's not gonna stop me? De La Vega, and he's like, oh shit.
Yeah,
then I get why that's annoying.
So that's my thing. Sorry for disagreeing.
No, I get, and I get his point too, though.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, you could say that, like, Darth Vader, yo, like, why don't they, like, all the stormtroopers just like
that's different. That's different.
Because he got off the boat and right away he's sunning everybody. I know you don't like me. He's just going.
He doesn't have like the Jedi powers, but he has whatever the power that he has.
That's enough for me not to fuck with Darth Vader. That's enough for me, because Montero doesn't have all that.
But he has the 1800s version of that, whatever the fuck this movie is.
Well, which is like having his armies and shit.
Wait, so since he combined, do we have?
We could do imposter.
Your imposter. So my imposter is
which Stewart, by the way, who played Montero, was he's English. He's English, yeah.
My imposter was Don Luis. He's the guy, the main Latin dude that was like homies with the main villain. This dude was the reason a lot of this shit went down.
Kind of, yeah.
He was the Don of all the Dons. Like all the Dons looked up to like, and he even said there was multiple scenes where he's like, "You are my best friend." It was like the main villain. This was like I thought he was gonna betray him. I mean, he kind of he treated him like. In those moments when he first comes to the island, he dissed him too.
Right.
But he did trust him.
Yeah.
And I thought he was gonna there was gonna be a scene where he kind of betrays him. But it was his kind of that guy was the real bad guy because he was the Latino who was infiltrating and getting the other Latinos to, and maybe that's why you couldn't do a coup because you got guys like him.
You're right.
Who are infiltrating the Latino group that would if they had a guy who was like, we're not taking this shit.
You're right.
You know, where's your Cesar Chavez?
Right.
You know what I mean? No, he was the opposite. And so I think he was, and the actor's name is Tony Amendola. He's a character actor who's been in a lot of shit.
Yes.
But,
no, I respect what you just said. You're right. Because this dude's co-signing. All right.
But no, look, the fact that you said that made me, connect the dots. So
okay. Well, the fact that you said that makes me conclude that, you know what? I get it. We're both right.
Look at that.
Yeah, good shit.
I am gonna take a page.
Cine Papis
Truce, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a page from Mike's world, and I'm gonna combine my MVP and my Imposter Week.
Oh, okay.
And it's very.
There are no rules.
It's simple, and it's Antonio Banderas because it's like he's playing very easy.
Yes.
He's a Spanish actor playing a Mexican role, but then he did it so well. He was super suave. It was fun to see him interacting with Elena. It was fun watching him interact with De La Vega, and he overcame his troubles and tribulations of alcoholism very easily to then be like, you know what, I want a path of being the Robin Hood of California. Like that was fun to me, and to see him play his character. So yeah, that's my both. Yeah, my both.
Get it.
My MVP is Antonio Banderas' brother.
Oh, okay. Why?
Because when the moment they're getting chased, Antonio Banderas' knee-jerk reaction was to stay there and fight it. He's like, no, go, brother.
And punches him.
Yeah.
He punches him
and goes.
Yeah.
If that doesn't happen, we don't got
Damn, that's a
Zorro
good one.
2.0, bro.
Yeah.
That's a good point. And we hadn't mentioned him until now. So
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna be cliche. Captain Zeta, man. She's my most valuable everything. This is her. Let's keep it real. This is her in her prime. Like you would just want to bubble wrap this version of her, and
do
just
what?
bubble wrap. No, I mean to
Bubble
keep her like this forever. You know what I mean? Like
Ages?
how
Are
Walt
you
Disney,
ages?
how Walt Disney is just sort of like iced in the.
Oh, right.
You know they ice him, and he's probably like that movie Demolition Man with Stallone. Just keep her in this age forever. Like she is an angel on screen.
Which, by the way, the Googles tells me that the Mask of Zorro is her breakthrough role.
Yeah,
I see it.
And look, I don't think she's not like the best actress. This is all about screen presence, right? And it's more about, and it's not just about looks, although 95% of it is. The other 5%. The other 5% is the presence. Like she, look, the love interest is an important character in a movie like this. If he was gonna risk it all, and I would risk it all for this version of Catherine Zeta.
You personally,
Me personally, but if Zorro was gonna risk it all, you have to believe it, and I would believe that he would, risk everything for her, and I like that she wasn't just damsel in distress.
Yeah,
she had
was
skills. She went toe to toe for him, like. They were kind of flirting with the sword fight, but there were points like if she actually wanted to kill him, she would have killed him. She could have
Don't do
stabbed
that
him.
again. That was crazy.
What I did?
If you go on youtube.com/Cine Papis, he was like, playing with the sword.
Oh, yeah. Said the guy who was massaging the mic.
Yeah.
Now we need Mike to do
the
the
gay Zorro.
Yeah. But okay. I think she's
Gorgeous.
She's gorgeous, but again, I thought her character was very integral to everything. It was integral to sort of like Zorro's sort of North Star of what he wanted out of his life. And
Not
because he was kind of lost.
Not the people of California.
That was secondary, I think. But he says in the movie he's looking for something, right? And I think it was her all along. And then she's the daughter of Sir Anthony Hopkins, and he was like, "Fuck the California stuff. I want to get my daughter."
Yeah, he did. And then
the guy who wasn't really her father was like he raised her, and so I have to believe, she made me believe that all these people she was in their
MAGA Man, he was jealous.
Oh, the MAGA man. So not every actress could pull that off where I believed it, and I believe that everything.
Yeah, I agree with
everything connected to her.
Yeah.
So I know it's the Mask of Zorro, but it's really, to me, it was the Mask of Elena.
I knew it.
Wow.
Two things real quick.
But I used the name of the movie, and I just I just said the Mask of. I got the Mask of Catherine Zeta, but I wanted to keep it to the
Mask of Jones.
Yeah.
Two things. Facts and fears. One. Catherine Zeta-Jones actually has a whole sword scene, and I believe it's season 2 of Wednesday or season 1 of Wednesday. Okay. But my pops let me know about that, and it's almost like kind of a weird ode because she does go and do the whole sword battle.
A little callback?
Yeah, a little callback.
Nice.
Two, a funny part that you mentioned about Catherine Zeta during the whole movie, I love that when Montero is holding her, Montero's fighting De La Vega, right? And they're sword battling, but he still got it on him. And then he whips, De La Vega whips his sword away from him. And then he grabs the gun, grabs Elena, and he puts it. He's like, "Put the sword down, or else I'll kill her." And then De La Vega puts the sword down, and he goes, "You think I was actually gonna shoot my daughter?" It's like he got caught there for 2 seconds. Like, oh shit, wait, now she might know. Now she might know.
No, that was a great moment,
yeah,
too.
that was a good moment.
I'm like, what am I supposed to think? You're not really her dad.
It's which one is it?
Yeah. And I'm glad he did that, too, because I was like, oh, they just made him
throw it away.
Cartoonishly evil now.
Right.
I thought he loved her.
Yeah,
but,
and then he's like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. Okay, wait, before we go.
Do-over?
Yeah, right, do-over, right? Before we go, we always end the episode with our PPS, our Poppy Point system, where we give the movie a rating from 1 to 5. This time around, I'm going to make it really easy, and I'll start myself, and I'm going to give this movie a nice, actually, 4 out of 5 Z's. Of course, flaming Z's, right? Not to be confused with the other Zorro. Fun movie. Antonio Banderas did an amazing job. Everybody did an amazing job in this movie. I love the practical effects, as I mentioned before. Movies like this make me miss movies from the 90s.
Yeah.
And for the fact that this is my first watch, and even though I definitely had a Zorro costume as a child, fun movie, cool action, simple plot. People tell me that The Legend of Zorro sucks, so I cannot wait to see that. Outside of Jamie, other people have told me that Legend of Zorro sucks. 4 out of 5 flaming Z's. I don't know who everyone wants to go next.
I'll do 4 horses.
Okay, 4 tornadoes?
Horses. Yeah, 4 tornadoes.
Yeah.
Damn, that was mine.
Ah, shit.
There you go. Oh, there you go.
In real time, I wanted to react.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. I love the way they built it up. It made me really feel like there was that connection and there were stakes. Because even in the beginning of it, I just enjoyed it too. It just felt really good. Like I would have been able to see a Netflix series
and
of 8 episodes of it.
Did they do that? That's funny that you say that.
But I really, really, really enjoyed it. And the same thing, Catherine Zeta-Jones really sold me as far as her being worth, saving and trying to be yo, I'm your dad, and Antonio Banderas and everything. I just love. And one of the scenes that MAGA Man, when he
MAGA Man is so
he
fun,
brings the jar with the guy's head and in the hand, and he's just looking at him, and they're just going back and forth.
Very dark.
But it was it felt very grounded. How much I hated them, both of them, because it's at the end of the day, to be the guy that shoots Anthony Hopkins' wife, then takes the kid, and there's the moment where he has Elena and Anthony Hopkins is there, and he doesn't even say nothing. He just bounces, and then he has to be in jail for that whole time. I was like, damn, man, that's some shit.
That's some Batman shit.
Yeah, and then just also real life shit. If you just take it out of that context, when Antonio Banderas is pissed off, wants revenge, the calmness of Anthony Hopkins and the advice and all the stuff they went went through that, I was like, yo, you could take that out of context, and like the way his experience and the groundness and the calmness kind of changed Antonio Banderas and the trajectory that he was going to.
Facts and Fears before Jamie's PPS.
Yeah.
They did do a Zorro in 2024 from Amazon Prime. It was a series, but it follows Diego de la Vega. And it is, and he is portrayed by Miguel Bernardo, spelled very weirdly, who was like a very prime. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Spanish show called Elite. It's like Rebelde, but like mad fucking serious and murderous and shit. But that did happen, by the way. They did do a whole TV series. Jamie,
I'm gonna go 4 to 5 sword tips.
Okay.
4 to 5. As I said before, I don't, and as Adine was saying, they don't make movies like this. Really,
They don't.
I love the practical stunts. I love this, the score, the music. You always love a good score. James Horner, shout out to James Horner.
Oh, okay.
And I was, because I hadn't seen it in a long time, and I misremembered that Anthony Hopkins. I was like, that he was miscast. I was like, why did they pick Anthony Hopkins? And again, he's not doing his own stunts. We get it, but he was good. He was good at doing what Anthony Hopkins does, and he played a really good mentor, and he didn't overplay it.
Nope.
You could tell he had that pain from his past, and he just let that shit just sit there. So when he's just talking to Antonio, he's just like matter of fact, and Antonio's the one who's like, "What are you talking about? Let me in. I'm ready." And then he's like, "Yeah,
Not yet.
I am Puss in Boots."
Oh God, I can't wait till we do that one.
Captain Zeta, I love you forever.
Come on the show.
And
He's getting incredibly red, by the way.
I know, I'm blushing.
For Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah. I took maybe I would say I took a tip off, a sword tip, one sword tip off, because it's 4 to 5, because I thought the third act action scene it could have been better. I didn't. I thought the third act. I thought it really peaked at the horse chase scene. I thought that was great. And I didn't like the main villain actor. I thought it's 96. You got a lot of really good choices for middle-aged character actors. Hey, you could have tell Gene Hackman to try on a Spanish accent. Fuck it, right? So I never really liked that actor.
Is that where you could have thrown Raul Julia, or would you have thrown him as De La Vega?
Either or.
Yeah.
But that would have really solidified it, because if you have Hopkins and then him, that would have.
Ooh, that would have been nice. All right, maybe that.
Because I don't think Hopkins is irreplaceable in that role. I thought he was good in the role, but I think Raul Julia could totally have killed that as well.
I should have seen my face when I realized it was Anthony Hopkins. Because I walk into a lot of these movies blindly, outside of, like, until afterwards that I started really doing the breakdown and figuring it out. But seeing that, I was like, is that fucking Hannibal Lecter? Is that Hannibal? Is he being Mexican? I was like, oh, he's Spanish. Got it.
So I mean, and I thought Captain Love was a good, like, co-villain.
Right.
That guy played it really well.
Right.
And it was a fun movie, well directed, Martin Campbell. So so that's my review. Funnily enough, I accidentally saw the sequel before this. I thought it was that was the only one on Netflix. Netflix is weird. Y'all only got the sequel. You don't have the original. So I was watching it on Netflix. 20 minutes in, I realized this is not the original one. This is the sequel, because they looked a little older. But the first scene was an action scene where he's in full Zorro garb, and you can't really tell. And it was actually a pretty good action scene. I can't speak to the rest of the movie.
When we do it,
but I'm recommending the sequel just for the first 20 minutes.
Just for the first 20 minutes.
I think it's good, man. So, and that's called Legend of Zorro.
That was Legend of Zorro.
So Mask of Zorro, 4 out of 5. Let's go.
All right.
Mask of Zorro, 1998. Antonio Banderas, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Sir Anthony Hopkins. Fun time.
Yes.
We are the Cine Papis. If you have your own PPS Poppy point system and you want to rate this movie 1 through 5, let us know down below on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. Let us know how you really feel about the movie, and us if you really need to.
Yes.
We are your Cine Papis, Adine Martinez, Jimmy Fernandez, Juan Bago, and we will catch you guys next time.
Cine Papis.